Alright guys, here's with another trade recap, and today it's on XPX again and SPY. So the main three stocks that I do trade happen to be XPX, SPY, and sometimes a little bit of Tesla, but most of the stocks will be actually SPY and XPX for this whole month. So this is another trade recap of today, which is September 3rd, 2025. So let's get right into the trade. Alright guys, so here's a trade from today that we took on XPX, and also on the left hand side you also see SPY. So we did double down today. We bought calls for XPX and calls for SPY. Now just to explain the difference between both of them, XPX just costs more. Alright, it's pretty much the same thing. XPX has like the top 500 companies in there, so if it goes up, if those companies are going up, then it's going up. If it's going down, it goes down in those 500 companies. Now, SPY, on the other hand, tracks the XPX, right? That tracks the top 100 companies in the states, right? Um, right. Now, with that being said, that's why they look the same on the charts, and it's gonna explain why you would take XPX over SPY is because XPX, the contracts are more expensive, but also it holds value better than SPY. Now I know a lot of times SPY can be very choppy. Now with XPX, it being very choppy, it could stay in a bound between $5, and if you get it correct, even that $5 will be enough to get you out of your contract, right? Now in SPY, it could get stuck between 15 cents and 30 cents. That's not helping no one at all. Okay? So here's a trade. I doubled down on both. I bought calls. We opened up 25 basis points in the green. So I was looking for a continuation, but at open we did sell off. We didn't sell off hard, but like we're chopped up and going downwards. Now I knew we had news at 10 o'clock, so I did wait to 10 o'clock, and thankfully I did, because as you could tell, for the first 30 minutes it was straight chopping going down, right? Now after 10 o'clock the news dropped, and I was waiting for a confirmation before getting into my trade, right? So the next candle we see is a green that inverts these two 3-minute candles, so which is really 6 minutes, and in one green candle it closed above both of those, right? So with that, I decided to get in the trade. Now, as you could tell, it struggled to break up, and then it went down hard, right? I literally just got in the trade when I saw this big red candle. Mentally, I was like, okay, we might have got faked out and might have got trapped at the top, but I still stayed in the trade because I also bought contracts that expire the next day, so I wasn't forced to sell this day, so I could have let it play out, right? And as you could tell, XPX did in fact buy all that back up and started to run. Now, SPY is the same thing. So if you hear me talking more about XPX, it's pretty much SPY. Like I said, it's tracking it. Um, so SPY started going up. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I did sell at this green candle right here. Here, let me draw it out for you guys if I can. I think I can. I sold at this candle right here. All right, sold here. Only because, like I said, it was chopping and then it sold off here. It went sold off hard here, and when I was up here, it could have fully filled, which it did eventually did, but I didn't want to wait for it. I was happy with my profits. Now you gotta understand, you're gonna see me a lot in these trade recaps say I'm happy with my profits. Now with that, you got to understand which how much money you want to make a day and in a week and in a month. And if you're at your goal, don't get greedy, you know. Now, some of the times I do sell myself short, but most of the time money is money. You know, you started with more than you started at the beginning of the day, and if you get more greedy, there's going to be one day that even if you have the perfect setup, you get murdered, and that's it, done. You know what I mean? You blow in your account and everything. So small profits do help a lot, but also got to be careful with anything with trading. All right. So I sold here on the top of the green candle, and as you could tell, boom, we got a big red candle, you know? So when I saw that, obviously I was like, oh, thankfully I sold out, you know, had profits, I didn't have to worry about it, and I thought we were gonna sell off more. Also, you gotta understand, I'm doing calls in September, which is a bearish month. All right. It's not, we're not going for big 100% trades, 200% trades, because it's not going to happen. In a bear market, in bear months, the stock will go up a lot, but then it'll go down more. You know what I mean? So that's why on calls, I'm very spectacle, but on my puts, which I'm going to be getting into shortly, you're going to see we're going to hold them longer for durations of time. Even if it's not my full TP, only because, like I said, in bear markets, you go up a little bit. That it might seem like a lot here, but then you go down way more, and you're gonna see that in the next couple trades. I mean, I haven't took the trades yet, but I can already tell how market moves because I've been doing this for at least 4 years. Okay. But then obviously it did go up, right? It did hit the goal I actually wanted. I wanted to see what it would do in this zone, and it did sell off. It when it hit the zone, and as you could tell, it sold off, and then it would have closed the gap fully that I did in this morning. But then look at what happened at close. All that buying. Now, that's crazy. Where someone been, but that's just the market now. Um, and if you look at SPY, we sold up here. It still went up a little bit. It just wasn't worth the hassle. And then look at SPY. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Now, if we look at the news, we could see. I don't even know. I just know we have a lot of news this week, and we also have jobs data, I think, on Friday, which is very important. That's what's really gonna send us down a couple levels or let us stay at this level. You know what I mean? So look at the 4 hour chart. That's still looking good. You know what I mean? But I still think we retest this 34 range in these coming days. But if this holds, I'll still play calls maybe all the way up to 47. But at 47, I'm already getting to the shorts all the way down to hit 37 because it's about 37 to 34 is the range I want to buy or sell my puts if I'm in going into puts soon. But you know, we're slowly going up. You see, this is a big sell, right? Green candle, big sell. We reversed here. We're going up slowly though, which once that slowly buy starts happening, you're gonna see big red candles. All right, but other than the trade, you know, happy with my profits. We did good. And yeah, and this is where you can see from the second and the trades. You know, the trades are still doing good, and it's still looking good to hit both of my full TPs. It's just, like I said, I'm happy with the profits, and we're good. Make sure to like, subscribe, and also comment down if you have any questions, please. For this whole month, I'll be answering any questions. And I know trading options could be very hard and difficult, so trust me, I'm here to help you guys out. Peace.